Alright, here we are for round number 3. We're 1-1 going up against the Trolling Saruman. We would like to play first. I think we can do better. Alright, this hand's great. Has all our colors. It has a 2-drop. I was about to say all it needs is a land, and we are golden. Opponent also kept 7, which is unfortunate for us, in the sense that they'll have more resources than we will. We'll just go ahead and play this mountain, and before I accidentally hit F6, play this Dino Hunter. That is a real concern sometimes on Magic Online. Opponent doesn't have anything. Okay, well, we're just going to go ahead and get in for 2 with our Dinosaur Hunter. Say go. I guess I could have been holding up like Moment of Craving or whatever, but triple swamps. What is our opponent's follow-up? Ah, yes, the old triple swamp pass the turn play. Bold move. I don't know what they're doing, so we're just gonna play our dudes and beat face. Attack with our Dinosaur Hunter. Oh, they had a Vona's Hunger. Okay, that's whatever. I mean, I'll just instead play a 3-4. I don't think that was better for you, opponent. I mean, I do agree that edicts like Vona's Hunger can get worse the later the game goes on. Like, we just saw it ourselves. Hey, Dino Hunter. Well, this is going to be a little awkward. I'm totally fine doing this with Hostage Taker just to keep getting in damage. Like, if they're mono black, then props to our opponent. But I don't think that they are, and I think that they're kind of they're color screwed right now. And like if they have removal spell for Hostage Taker, it's whatever. Next turn, if nothing happens, I'm just going to cast this Dinosaur Hunter, and if we draw a land, I might market the Vampire like Hostage Taker or whatever. Also, I think this Angrath's Marauders might be dead. See, look, they have blue mana. That's what I thought. So they have 5 mana, so what are they going to play? Shaper Apprentice. The 2-1 that has flying as long as you control another merfolk. And Fell Flagship. Alright, so Fell Flagship is a 3/3 vehicle with crew 3, so they cannot crew it this turn. I would have really liked to Hostage Taker that. Oh well. So let's play Dino Hunter. And then we're just going to go ahead and bash with everyone. Like if our opponent manages to crew the flagship and hit us, we'll just discard this Angrath's Marauders. It's no skin off our back. Eventually we'll hold back this Hostage Taker so that we can chump block the Fell Flagship. And then we'll just recover our Hostage Taker and take their Fell Flagship. I mean, I guess they can also, like... I mean, they're real behind the 8-ball here, so I don't know what their plan is right now. Like, also, like, trading their Vona's Hunger for our Dinosaur Hunter seems really low EV. Like, just from a value proposition, like, Dinosaur Hunter's a 2-drop, Vona's Hunger's a 3-drop. Sure, it saved you 2 damage, but I don't know how, like, if that was important or not. Alright, Deadeye Brawler is going to be annoying because it has Death Touch. And Ascend. But they don't have the City's Blessing yet. So here's something interesting. I kind of want this Corsair to be a 3/3. But at the same time, I'm not attacking into this board with a Deadeye Brawler in play. So I'm just going to play this Sahuagin Corsair as a 2/2 and say go. With the intention that if they attack with the Brawler, I'm just going to double block here and eat it. Whereas if they crew the flagship, I'm going to double block here and see what they do. Alright, they're 1 permanent away from the city's blessing, which will make this Deadeye Brawler into probably... Alright, so Deadeye Brawler is going to be, like, one of the best... Alright, so they're going to... Attack. Perfect. Okay. Deadeye Brawler is, like, one of the better... Shadow Mage Infiltrators I've ever seen, so... Oh, they had a Moment of Craving. Even better. Even better. For me. Not for them. Alright, let's draw a card. Hey, it's a mountain. Let's cast Recover on Hostage Taker. Come back to me, my precious. Play a mountain. Sadly, we just don't have any colors remaining, and we're just going to pass the turn. We do now have, or we're almost to enough mana to play Angrass Marauders, which is going to be spicy. So now they're probably getting ready to surge with the team. We're just going to take 6 here. Sure, they draw a card off of the pirate, but... And they found another land, and then they're going to play a... Soul of the Rapids. Man, that card has been a real pain in our side this entire time. We draw a Heartstopper. Well, I don't think I'm blocking with this Raptor or this Corsair. And they have 1 card in hand. So, we are going to serve with both of them. And we're attacking with both of them because... if they want to get either of these off the board, they have to block one of them. They have to double block their Ruska Raptor, which case trades for both of these. The Saber Princess doesn't have flying, so if they want to trade for this, they can. Well, I guess there is also the Fell Flagship if they wanted to crew it, but they'll have to tap Soul of the Rapids to do so. I mean, I guess I could just Fell Flagship the pirate here, but... Well, they chose not to crew the Fell Flagship, which is kind of hilarious. Alright. That's a fine block. Kind of expected something along those lines. Well, here's Hostage Taker again. Hostage Taker is going to remove... So here's another question, actually. Do I take the Deadeye Brawler, or do I take the Spirewinder? I think I'll take the Brawler. The Brawler is going to be a little bit more impactful, I think. And we'll say go. Like, they also have this Fell Flagship, which, if they want to hit me with it, that's fine. I'll just pitch this Grasping Scoundrel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 permanents. Not quite to the City's Blessing. If we draw a land, it'll be trivial to get there. Now, the other fun thing is that they have 6 power in play. But we're on a 3-turn clock, whereas they're at 9. And so they're on a 2-turn clock with our creatures. So they have a removal spell for Hostage Taker. This gets awkward. So one option available to our opponent is to not attack, which I'm okay with. And then one line available to me is I could play Mark of the Vampire on this Araska Raptor. In which case, if they wanted to kill this, they'd have to double block it. I mean, I think the first thing I'm doing on my turn, period, is casting this Deadeye Brawler. Although I guess it's like maybe somewhat reasonable that I could have taken the Fell Flagship instead. Considering how many pirates we have. So let's see what our opponent's thinking. Because they're definitely in a bind right now. Now that we've Hostage Takered away their Deadeye Brawler. It's like Moment of Craving can't kill Hostage Taker, which is now something we have to worry about. As well as Vona's Hunger. Our opponent is real deep in the tank here. They've not played a land this turn, so they might have a land in hand. Alright, so they're going to crew the flagship. That's fine. So they're going to get in for 6. Oh, no, they're just going to get in with the fell flagship itself. Alright, well, we're not blocking the fell flagship. We're going to take 3, and we're going to discard our Grasping Scoundrel. We only have 1 black mana. If I'm playing a black spell, I'm playing the Skittering Heartstopper, and then they play a land and say go. Okay. We found a swamp. I'm going to go ahead and play the swamp now. And then we're going to play Deadeye Brawler from our opponent's side. We get the City's Blessing now. No, so I could attack with the Raptor, but they're just going to block and nothing happens. So I'm going to play Skittering Heartstopper and say go. Now we have the City's Blessing, so now our Deadeye Brawler, aka their Deadeye Brawler, will draw cards upon hitting. We also now have 2 Death Touch blockers if they decide to crew up the flagship again and bash. We also just have approximately lethal on board. Okay, so they're going to attack for 6. Alright. We cannot block their 6 power in the air. We go to 5, and they pass the turn. So we're at 9. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I guess the question here is, do I show them Mark of the Vampire, or do I show them Angrath's Marauders? If they have a hard counter, then then playing Mark is better, because then we could draw something off of Deadeye Brawler, and then potentially get their next turn. On the flip side, if I play Marauders and they have a hard counter, then I'm dead next turn, because there's nothing that I can do from there either. The live outs in my deck include any of my removal spells, like Lightning Strike, Bombard, or Unfriendly Fire. Those are all live. If I want to play those, I want to play Mark first. I want to play Mark instead of Angrath's Marauder. So, let's play Mark of the Vampire on Orazca Raptor, because now my live draws include Lightning Strike or Bombard. Alright, so they let it happen. And then they're at 9. We will attack we'll attack for exactly 9. I want to leave the Heartstopper back in case they want to get frisky and attack with the flagship. And they don't have it, so we win the game. Alright. So that went well. Our opponent did kind of get color screwed there at the beginning. But all in all, I felt pretty good about that. So they're blue-black. Shake the Foundation is going to be pretty bad against them. I could bring in a Dark Inquiry. Take out a Dual Shot. I don't think Dual Shot's going to be very good against them. And just try it like this. I'll just try it like this. The other thing that putting the Mark did that I didn't account for, because I was trying to just get lethal, is the fact that then I would be gaining life in addition to simply just kind of getting there. This hand's fine. It does mean that we're playing this Grasping Scoundrel turn later. Yeah, unless we drew a swamp right there, but that's fine. We'll play a turn 2 Grasping Scoundrel. That means that we can attack with it and still have our Corsair as a 3/3 on turn 3. Opponent cracks their Evolving Wilds. There's very little value, I think, in waiting in Sealed for Evolving Wilds, and except in like very few circumstances. So we drew a Direfleet Hoarder. We're just going to sack this amulet, grab one of our swamps, play the swamp, play Grasping Scoundrel, say go. They're going to attack. We are not going to block. We will take 2. And they're going to follow it up with a Direfleet Hoarder. Okay, into Island. What do we draw? We draw a Stampeding Horncrest. So we are also going to attack, because Grasping Scoundrel is a 2/1 when it's attacking. I don't mind if they trade. I just want to get the raid off, so I have a 3/3 instead of a 2/2. They make a treasure, sure. And then 3/3 Swaggering Corsair. Say go. Now, I do have to worry about things like Moment of Creation. Alright, so they play a Spire Winder and pass the turn. We draw Frenzied Raptor, which is actually a really insane draw here, because that means that next turn our Horncrest can have haste. So I'm going to continue applying pressure. If they want to trade for my Corsair, they'd have to double block it, which I didn't think that they were willing to do anyways. We'll just play our Frenzied Raptor and say go. So now next turn, they could be potentially facing down 11 damage, depending on what they do here. This is also the opposite of the previous game where they had all black mana to start with. They have primarily blue mana, but treasures do do a lot of good to kind of alleviate some of those concerns. So bonus hunger here is not that insane. Deadeye Brawler would be very, very good here. Alright, so they're going to attack for 4. That's fine. So we go to 14. Let's see what they follow up with. Charter Course to draw 2 cards. Okay, that's pretty good for them. Do they have a follow-up after that? Swamp into Dinosaur Hunter. Well, that's more awkward than I was expecting. So now I'm kind of disincentivized to play out my Horncrest here, because then that's an easy trade for them. I'd rather just force them to make this trade as opposed to giving them the easy out of just taking this. That said, if I play Horncrest and attack with everything, they're almost immediately priced into blocking with Dinosaur Hunter, but they also have the possibility of having a Moment of Craving. So I think I'm just going to attack with my dudes now, and then try to surprise them with Horncrest later. Because, I mean, Frenzied Raptor dies to Moment of Craving anyways. And yeah, see, that was a very easy block for them. So they go to 14. It's now 14 all. Yep, the creature is dead. Old school Death Touch. Specifically for dinosaurs. And so now the question is, do I play Hoarder or do I play Horncrest? I don't have that many other dinosaurs in the deck, but if I play Hoarder and they attack, I can trade here, and then I'll have 7 mana for Marauders next turn. And I think that's what I'm going to do. It's a little bit riskier, especially since like this guy's not going to have haste that often. But I think I'm okay with the higher value of play of, oops, suddenly I have a Furnace of Wrath and you don't. Opponent plays their Swamp for the turn. And they're going to play what? And also here's a moment where not playing Ingress Marauders last game lets us hide a little bit of extra information. Again, this is not an exciting card on its face value. Like it's a 7 mana 4/4, but it effectively is an 8/4 due to just how much damage it can deal. So they do nothing. Okay. So they did nothing. So we'll play our Mountain. Now once again, I can attack with the Corsair. And if they want to kill it, they need to double block or have a removal spell in hand. And I think I'm okay with that. I mean, trading a Corsair for something like a Moment of Craving is going to be awkward. But okay, they take it, so they go to 11. And then we're going to play our Stampeding Horncrest without haste. Sad, but true. And also, I'd rather have a 4/4 in play rather than a 4/2, because the Frenzied Raptor trades for either of these creatures. Whereas now, you know, if they wanted to eat Stampeding Horncrest, then that's an entirely different issue entirely. Our opponent played a land and got the City's Blessing, so they are #blessed, thanks to Spirewinder. Now they have 3 cards in hand. And we really don't have any idea of what it could be. All right, what are you playing? Vona's Hunger. Oh, so we're gonna have to sack 2 creatures. Oof. All right, that's fine. Our Swaggering Corsair was effectively pretty dead there, thanks to the fact that they now have Spirewinder as a 3/4. But now we have a 4/4 Stampeding Horncrest, which is fine. And then they have Impale. Oh, that was a pretty good play for them. So 7 mana, wipe the board, pretty much just Plague Wind. Now they have 1 card in hand, and we're on a 3-turn clock. However, what our opponent doesn't realize is that they are on a 2-turn clock. Now, Angrath's Marauders does get shut down by pretty much any removal spell or Deadeye Brawler. So they played a land, and are they going to pass the turn? No, they're going to attack with Spirewinder. Okay. So we're now on a 3-turn clock. We go to 6. Okay. So they could have Moment of Craving, which would trade Angrath's Marauders for Shaper Apprentice, but I don't think I have the luxury of playing around that. So we will attack for 8. They will block. No, they're not going to block. So if they don't block, they're dead to Lightning Strike, which is an uncommon, or Unfriendly Fire, which is common, both from Ixalan, however. There's not a lot of... Okay, so they do block. Then we'll play Heartstopper. So now we have 10 damage on board. They're still winning this race because Spirewinder can kill us in 2 turns, whereas we need to find either a Pump Spell or an Unfriendly Fire. There we go. All right, so we're going to attack with everything. See what our opponent potentially has. They have a lot of potential answers. There's definitely some tricks that they could have here. Like, our attack is pretty forced here anyways. Like, we can't kill this without using our Unfriendly Fire. But if we can Unfriendly Fire our opponent and kill them, then that's just better for us. Also, of note, Unfriendly Fire deals 8 to our opponent, thanks to Angrath's Marauders. No, so they do nothing before blocks, and then they take it, go to 1, and then let's see, do we have a win? Vanquish the weak, kill our 1/1, and that should do it. Assuming they have 1 card in hand, yep. And there we go, we won the match. Yes, double damage, Furnace of Wrath effects, Angrath's Marauders. Tech's actually relevant for once. So we're now 2-1, and let's keep the train rolling. And here we are for round number 4. We're again 2-1. Our opponent mulliganed to 6, and we're gonna mulligan to 6 as well. We really wanted one of these mountains to be a swamp. Otherwise, I think this would be an easy keep. This 6 is fine, mainly because we have Traveler's Amulet. The sad part is, I'm afraid this Traveler's Amulet is going to have to go get a swamp, although we don't have to decide upon that for a little bit. Opponent is still on the decision of whether they want to mulligan to 5 or not. Obviously, if we draw a swamp, they mulligan to 5. Oh no, we're keeping. I feel sorry for our opponent now. You never want to see your opponent mulligan to 5. I mean, it's good for you if you really value winning, but I do value playing an actual game of Magic. Bombard is tricky here. I think I'm going to keep it because it's our only removal spell in our hand. We do need to find lands, but we have a Traveler's Amulet to hit our 3rd land drop. I guess the question then is, will we find a swamp for, say, Forerunner and Hostage Taker? Our opponent leads on Sun Petal Grove, we draw the aforementioned Bombard, and we're going to go ahead and play our Traveler's Amulet, and pass the turn over to our opponent. Again, hopefully we find a swamp here in the near future. Opponent plays a mountain, and then they follow up with a... Merfolk Branchwalker, and they found a Pounce on top of their library, and they're going to bin it. All right, that leads me to believe that they are more keen on trying to find lands, which doesn't surprise me at all. We're just playing Mountain and passing, so we can crack this amulet. And again, I'm not cracking the amulet yet. I'm going to wait until at least next turn to see what we find. I'm okay taking a little bit of beatings here. Opponent is going to now play another 2-drop in Ixalan's Diviner. Lots of explore going on. All right. They find a Snapping Sailback, and if they milled the Pounce, I'm going to assume they're milling the Sailback as well. No, they kept the Sailback on top. Interesting. And they played a Stone Quarry. All right. Swamp off the top. Lightning Strike. All right, well, we can't miss a land drop, especially with facing down this board state. And I'm going to pop this amulet to go get a swamp so that we can start playing some of our black spells in our hand. It does suck that we're not going to be able to get the Hostage Taker, but we do have sources of treasure in the deck, so we'll see how this goes. Our opponent is going to then attack us for 4, as they are wont to do. And we know they have a Snapping Sailback in hand, and they pass the turn. Interesting. So I think we just untap. We found Tomb Robert. That's not who I wanted to find. Well, actually, to be fair, Tomb Robber actually is pretty decent on this board. We're going to play Forerunner of the Coalition. And we are going to go ahead and find a pirate, I think. I don't know what pirate we're going to find, because we have our best pirate and Hostage Taker in hand. We have our Corsair. We even have Tomb Robert in our hand. Yes, I will search my library. So I can grab Grasping Scoundrel, Dinosaur Hunter. Actually, Dino Hunter seems really insane against them. So we're going to put Dino Hunter on top of our library. And we're going to say go. Dinosaur Hunter is a very clean answer to Snapping Sailback. Now, I assume our opponent is considering using a removal spell here. They could have Bombard, they could have Lightning Strike. There's a lot of things they could have here that easily and cleanly deals with the 2/2. And actually, I don't think that I think I am actually considering just trading for the Branchwalker here. Decide to attack, which they do. Or we'll see if they do. Okay, they do decide to attack, and I will go ahead and block. My life total can't go too low. Alright, they had nothing. Alright, that's even better. So we will play our Dinosaur Hunter. And then we'll say go. They knew about this card, might as well just go ahead and play it out. Dinosaur Hunter also neatly blocks Ixalan's Diviner. And we know that they have, a Snapping Sailback and 3 unknowns in hand. I am a little surprised they didn't mill the Sailback because of the fact that they're missing land drops this heavily. I mean, we're missing land drops too, but our hand has, only 1 uncastable card, and it also costs 4 mana. Whereas the rest of our hand is just gas. Like, Tomb Robber's not good right now, but he can also be insane later and help us find our other lands. And depending on what they do next turn, like if their next turn is essentially the same thing of just pass the turn or try to attack with Diviner and see if we block or not, then I think we attack with Dinosaur Hunter, because even if they don't attack with this, it's a fairly free attack, and then we get to play a 3/3 Lightning Swaggering Corsair. So they let it resolve, and they did nothing. Okay, and we draw a Swamp. That's pretty good. Opponent has a stop on our draw step. which is a little awkward. I don't know what they would be wanting to do with a stop on our draw step. It's not like this is modern or anything with like Vendilion Clique and they're in the entirely wrong colors. Also, if we ever do draw our island, our hostage taker can be pretty insane against like a Naya Dinos deck. Another thing that they could be stuck on is they could be stuck on double green. Because we've seen 4 green spells out of them, but we only seen 1 green source. And I'm guessing that because they have the basic mountain, that white is their splash color. Alright, play the swamp. And we're just going to go ahead and get on in with Dino Hunter. I'm expecting them to block, as they probably should. They don't even block. Wow, that is a bold move, Cotton. So we'll play our Swaggering Corsair as a 3/3, say go. And what do they find? They find a Tishana's Wayfinder. Alright, another Explorer. And they find a Forest. Okay, so now they're kind of slowly getting out of their funk. We draw Marauders. So now, the question is, what do we do here? So if I attack with both, they can either double block the Corsair to try to kill it, and then take 2, or they block here and block here. I think I'm fine with this trade, even though they do have the Snapping Sailback in hand, because we also have access to recover. Because what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to play Tomb Robber and Explore with Angrath's Marauders. Or Explore pitching Angrath's Marauders. Because we're very, very far away from playing it. It's also like, the last match kind of showed off how good it can potentially be. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and attack. There's not many cards that they can have for 1 mana. And like if at worst I use, like Lightning Strike to kill this 2/2, then whatever. So go ahead and bash in. And like best case scenario, they like double block our Corsair. Okay, so this is kind of what I expected them to do. And I think I'm fine with this block. So now we play Tomb Robber. And then we explore pitching Marauders. Find a Dual Shot. Dual Shot's going to be pretty bad against them, so we're going to put it in the bin. Because, like our opponent, we also would like to find lands. So they found their forest for their Snapping Sailback, which is going to be a little awkward. And they're going to go just pass the turn. We draw Golden Demise, which is not a card that I'm really interested in right now. So, a few things that are available to me right now is also Golden Demise is going to be pretty bad against them, I think, because even though they had like Branch Walker, they're going to be playing big butts like Snapping Sailback. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go to combat. And we're going to go ahead and smash. So, I'm going to pass priority because they're probably going to flash in the Snapping Sailback, which is fine. Okay, Sailback resolves. So now here's the interesting part. They're probably going to block our Corsair, but I don't want them to have the Sailback for much longer. So I'm going to go ahead and bombard the Sailback. It kills it clean. The enrage trigger goes in the stack and then doesn't resolve. And so now our opponent's only block is to block the Corsair. And I think we're going to go ahead and explore pitching Golden Demise, find a Mark of the Vampire, which I will keep on top, because Mark is just absolutely insane. So now I have no information on the opponent's deck or the opponent's hand. What do you have? 6 mana for a Colossal Dreadmaw. Well, he is large and in charge. So now, I guess the question is, where do we go from here? So I can trade for the Dreadmaw using Lightning Strike and a creature, which I'm totally fine with. I could also use Vona's Hunger to force to edict them. And I could put Mark of the Vampire on, like, Tomb Robber, and try to go from there. This hostage taker is becoming slowly and slowly worse until we find Recover, as well as our island. So if I attack with Tomb Robber, like if I put Mark of the Vampire and Tomb Robber in attack, they have to double block it if they want to kill it, which is not what I want right now, because Tomb Robber is pretty insane right here. So I think I want to save my option. I want to give myself as many options as possible. And I'm going to go ahead and say pass the turn with having Lightning Strike and Vona's Hunger available to me. And if they play something that changes my mind drastically, then I'm going to want to be able to explore with Tomb Robber. And like worst case, I'm trading Corsair and Lightning Strike for Dreadmaw. And said, all they've shown us are green cards, so I'm being led to believe, okay, so they have Golden Guardian. So Golden Guardian fights another creature you control. This creature dies. Return it to the battlefield transformed under your control. Well, that is going to be very annoying. Because now they're just going to make an endless stream of 4/4s. Because they could just activate it now, punch their Dreadmaw, and then get the land. I guess the question is, do they do it now as opposed to later? How much is it to make a Golem 4 mana? This is going to be problematic, to say the least. I still think that bombarding the Snapping Sailback was correct. Because I didn't know that they had a Golden Guardian. Our opponent's probably thinking, like, do they have another Bombard? Like, what could they possibly have? So they didn't do anything, so I think this Mark of the Vampire is going to be pretty bad right now. So we're going to go ahead and pitch this Mark of the Vampire to explore. Now they're pausing here to see if they want to fight here, but we're still leaving up Bombard mana. So that makes this line very dangerous. If they decide to go for it. Alright, we drew a Swamp. Alright, that's fine. Find a Horncrest. Okay. Does Horncrest do anything here? I don't think it does. Because all playing Horncrest does is tell them that we don't have Bombard mana. So I think what we do is we say go and hold up both Vona's Hunger and Lightning Strike. Because I want my opponent to think that I have a Bombard. Or I want them to play around as though I had a Bombard. Like, eventually this Tomb Robber can get pretty large. Alright, so they didn't activate it on our end step. Play a land. Sun-Crested Pterodon. Alright, Pterodon is not great for us because it's a 2/5 Vigilance Flyer. But they have mana for Golden Guardian as well. Or, not just as well, but still. Mono's Hunger could get insane if they do manage to flip Golden Guardian. But then they just sack all their tokens and keep all their actual creatures. I wonder how much of this game is going to revolve around me attempting to play Hostage Taker into them fighting with Golden Guardian. Alright. Well, we're going to now pitch Horncrest to explore. We find... If it's another land, I'm going to just pitch it again to Tomb Robber. But if it's a island, I'll have to keep it. Because I'm going to want to play. I'm going to want to play Hostage Taker. Whether it's taking the Dreadmaw or some other random thing, like taking the Sun-Crested Pterodon. Our opponent has really gone in the tank. Has gone in the tank every single time we've done something. Could be connection issues, but here it's them really trying to figure out whether or not they can flip Golden Guardian. Dusk Legion Zealot. I will keep the Zealot on top. We'll draw a card. We'll play Zealot. Because, why not? We'll lose a life, draw a card. Draw Buccaneer's Bravado. Okay. Now, Bravado is interesting, because Bravado can give us a way to win now. So Bravado gives +1/+1 and double strike. I don't think we're doing it now. I think we're going to eventually do this later. But we're going to go ahead and pass the turn. Because also Tomb Robber is becoming a little bit bigger. Now the downside here is that Sun-Crested Pterodon is going to start getting in and really messing up our days. Now, sadly, our Angrath Marauders is in the bin. Otherwise, Angrath Marauders plus Buccaneer's Bravado would just be insane. Like, actually, Angrath Marauders plus Buccaneer's Bravado is lethal, because it's 5/5, double strike, deals double damage. Yeah, that would just be a 20 out of nowhere. So our opponent is still, they're really tanking on whether or not they want to activate this Golden Guardian. And essentially, we're just playing this game of cat and mouse. They're thinking, they've shown to me one Bombard. Do they have a second Bombard? Or do they have some other removal spell? Because again, at any time, they can just pay the 2 mana, have Golden Guardian fight Colossal Dreadmaw, dies, make the land, that you can pay 4 mana to make a 4/4 Golem. If I find an island, I can force the issue with Hostage Taker. Or if I find Unfriendly Fire, then I can respond to Golden Guardian's ability to just kill it out of nowhere. But I'm kind of in love with the fact that our opponent is so heavily playing around Bombard. Because they want to flip this Golden Guardian. They both don't want to lose Colossal Dreadmaw, and they want to flip Golden Guardian. Because I'll agree that if they flip Golden Guardian, then this game's probably over. I don't think there's a way that they can win. Or if they flip Golden Guardian, then I think that they have a really easy way of winning it. And on a mulligan to 5, that's a pretty good start. Because the only removal spells that we have to deal with Guardian are Bombard and Unfriendly Fire. I don't think we have a Demolish or any sort of LD spell in our sideboard either. No, Crushing Canopy in green only deals with enchantments, doesn't deal with artifacts. I don't think we open a Naturalize. Because another line potentially available to us, is being able to just use Hostage Taker eventually to take it. But also, we've seen primarily green and white, and we've seen one white spell now. So I guess the question now is red their splash or is white their splash? So we'll see. I guess it's also possible that they're trying to decide whether or not they want to use their own Lightning Strike. So I'm trying to think of all the other spells that they could potentially have here. They'd been to Pounce. Okay, so they finally passed priority. Tanking again. Alright. Go ahead, opponent. They only have 10 minutes left on their clock now, which is not conducive to them necessarily winning. If they win this game and then they win the next game, then that's obviously just kind of very straightforward, hey, we got there. But this is a game with a chess timer. So they do have to win 2 games to try to get there. So they play 4 mana for Pirate's Pillow. So they discard a mountain to draw 2 cards and make 2 treasures. Sure. I cannot stop you. I wonder if they just ripped 2 lands off the top. That wouldn't be an unreasonable thing to happen. This is, after all, sealed. Opponent once again really tanking on this game. I both love and hate that how much of this match is revolved around the fact that they've now resolved Golden Guardian and they're trying to hold up Golden Guardian activations. Alright, so they have passed priority into combat. They're going to attack with their 2/5 Vigilance Flyer, which does have me dead in 6 turns, so I will need to find an answer at some point. Alright, draw a card. Find Frenzied Raptor. Well, Frenzied Raptor is not gonna do it. So now what do we do? They have 2 cards in hand. I believe they played a land. We'll just double check. They did. They played a Plains. We have ways of dealing with the Sun-Crested Pterodon, but just not right now. I don't think this Frenzied Raptor is very good, so I think we're going to main phase Explore. Found a mountain. Does a mountain change anything? Actually, a mountain does. If I play the mountain, Then I have 6 lands and 3 creatures. So next turn, potentially, I can have access to Vona's Hunger Ascended, which can make our opponent's life very miserable. Our opponent is once again really tanking. Alright. Apparently not tanking as much as I thought they would be. Say go, opponent. They're going to go for it now. Okay. So, the bad news is, I can't stop them. But I think I figured out exactly what they were trying to do here. They're trying to leave it up so that they could flip this Golden Garrison, or Goldforge Garrison, and have mana to activate it. So now the question is, what do I do here? Well, I can't stop them from flipping Golden Guardian. But now I can stop them from having a Colossal Dreadmaw. And I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to go ahead and Lightning Strike the Dreadmaw to get it off the table. Because I can't kill the Golden Guardian. Alright, it resolves. Golden Guardian is going to flip. They're going to have a land. And they're going to be able to make a 4/4 Golem, should they so choose. They want to cash in these treasures. And they don't. Now we still have Buccaneer's Bravado as well as Vona's Hunger. Opponent plays a forest for turn. And they're going to get in for nothing. They didn't... their Suncrested Pterodon doesn't have Vigilance anymore. Okay. So now we're going to draw a card. We draw a Swamp. Let us explore with Tomb Robber. If we draw another land, I think I'm just going to play it so that we can have Vona's Hunger with Ascend. See what our opponent decides. I'm not sure what our opponent is tanking up, why our opponent is like spending time on these Tomb Robber activations, unless they're just not noticing them. If it's Unfriendly Fire, we keep it on top. Also, we have our one island somewhere in our deck. The other downside is the fact that we have seen 7 lands of our 16. So that's 9 of our 16 remaining cards are lands. So we should be hitting a point in the game where I could start pitching lands to Tomb Robber to draw lands, to pitch more lands, to help find our spells. And our opponent's about to hit 6 minutes on the clock. I don't know if they'll have enough time to win. I mean, I've been proven wrong before. Also, I'm going to go and put a stop on my end step for after when they make a Goldforge Guardian. Another bonus here is if we do make a 5/5 Tomb Robber here, then we can have Buccaneer's Bravado next turn just be lethal. Because also if it's a 5/5, it can attack through Suncrested Pterodon and Ixali's Diviner. That said, if it does become a 5/5 and we attack, and then they make a Goldforge Garrison, then we can Vona's Hunger them. They will no longer have... And if we'd have to find a land. So if we get a land off of this one, then we'll have 10 permanents. We can attack with Tomb Robber. We found alright, we did find a mountain. So I'm going to play this mountain only because it gives us ascend. And then we're going to pass the turn. We have 6 lands, or no, we have 7 lands, and we have 3 creatures. So actually, ooh, hold on. Are they dead? If we attack with both, or if we attack with everything, they're going to make a Goldforge Garrison. We can then Vona's Hunger them with Ascend. They lose their board. Okay, no, they won't be lethal because the best I could do is I could deal 13 to them, they go to 2. And they'll have 1 creature of their choice. So there's no attacks this turn, but we'll set up for it next turn. So we're going to pass priority here, and they're going to make a Goldforge Garrison. They make a Goldforge Garrison token. So if I Vona's Hunger them here, they must sack 2 creatures. And one of them has to be a real creature. I don't know if they'd sack the Golem. I think I'm going to wait for their next turn to Vona's Hunger them. Because then, of course, they can just make a Golem. But let's see what they do here. New Horizons to put a counter on the Sun-Crested Pterodon. Sure. Go to combat. Just attack with the Sun-Crested Pterodon. Okay. So we will... I think we're going to take 3. Alright. And then on their end step, we will Vona's Hunger with Ascend. And it looks like they F6'd. And they sack everything. They sacked the real creatures. So they kept the Golem. So now they can Golem. They can make another Golem to block Tomb Robber, which is pretty bad for us. But what's available for us now? So I can recover Angrath's Marauder. I think. So if I recover Angrath's Marauders, then I can set up a win for a few turns from now. So yeah, let's pick up Angrath's Marauders with recover. We draw Direfleet Hoarder. We'll play Direfleet Hoarder. And then I think we just say go. You're going to make a Goldforge Garrison now. Okay. So, hold on. If I attack with everything here... No. Okay. I'm just going to say go. Because if they attack with one of the golems, because they're going to need to at some point, because their clock is running low, they have to be aggressive at some point. Nothing. Okay, draw a card. It's a Grasping Scoundrels. Alright, so if I play Marauders, and I bash, what happens? They double block Tomb Robber, then they take 6, 10, 12. Not good enough. So I think the line is play Marauders, say go. Or are they going to make a Golem now? Sure. So now all our creatures deal double damage. And they're going to pass again. Hopefully, at least. What are they casting? Trapjaw Tyrant. Well, Trapjaw Tyrant is awkward, to say the least. Oh, honey. Oh, please attack. Oh, they didn't attack. Why didn't you attack? Why no attacks? All right. So what do we do now? So I think I attack with all the pirates. Because they're at 15, they have to block, then they have to double block Tomb Robber. So I attack with everything. They're going to put this on something, it doesn't matter, I don't think. well, if they put this on here, then they just get to exile something if I Buccaneer to Bravado it, so that doesn't do anything. I need this to die so that I can use Hostage Taker. Alright, let's attack with all of our pirates, I think. Yeah, all our pirates. Leave back Dust Legion Zealot. It doesn't really matter, I don't think. You're going to make a golem. Sure. You have made a golem. Wait, also wait, all our sources deal double damage. You have to double block the... you have to double block my friend here, the Tomb Robber. So right now these are all straight trades. I will assign him first. Okay? Alright. Then I will... Ooh, this is interesting. So what do you read? I think this works. So I'm going to give Tomb Robber Double Strike. So that will wipe your board, that should wipe your board. So first points of damage, Trapjaw Tyrant attempts to exile something but doesn't because he's no longer in play. Wipe your board. I will now make a token. I will then play a Grasping Scoundrel and say go. That was not quite what I wanted, but I do know why our opponent's white now, and I'm assuming they're splashing red for something. Star of Extinction. Well then, that is a powerful play. Found a land. Well, we're gonna do it again. Yep, we have found all our lands. We have found every single land in our deck. Effectively, Raptor does do nothing. Put that in the bin. Star resolves. Draw a card. We draw Unfriendly Fire. Well, Unfriendly Fire not going to do anything here. We'll say go. For having two mythics, though, our opponent's deck's pretty good. How much money do I have? I have 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I'll be a little bit of a jerk. Island. Go. Make a golem. Attack for 4. We go to 2. We untap. Play Hostage Taker. You make a golem. I steal a golem. By a loose definition of steal. Oh, they had a bombard? Okay. Well. No, I want them to kill me. So we have 10 minutes on our clock, and they have 3. Their deck is not that fast. So I think we're in a good position to try to get there. So, how do we deal with Naya Dinos with double mythics? I think our deck is pretty set up for it straight up, but I will bring in this Dark Inquiry because Dual Shot seems bad. Trove also seems bad, so I'll bring in both Dark Inquiries for those. And we have no artifact removal. Yeah. Alright, this is it. That was a very interesting game, although I think our opponent spent way too much time trying to play around certain things. We lost, so we will be on the play. This hand is... it's fine. I'll keep. Our opponent also keeps. So we will have 2 hands of 7. And they have to win in 3 minutes of chess time. I'm definitely playing this Swaggering Corsair just naked out here. But our opponent finds a Branch Walker, which finds a Plains. We found Amulet. But we're going to play our Corsair. They will play their planes. We will take 2. Like, I could just recover it, but why do that? Mavrin Fane. Mavrin's awkward. Is he awkward? I don't think he's that awkward. We will Dark Inquiry our opponent. So they have Divine Verdict, Bombard, Golden Guardians, and Shake the Foundations. Well, Shake is pretty medium against us. Next turn, if they play Golden Guardian, I can just take it. Just take their Golden Guardian. They've also got Bombard and Divine Verdict, so I think I'm going to take this Bombard. Leave them with those cards in hand. And I'm just going to play this Traveler's Amulet and say go. I'm imagining that our opponent's going to attack. We're going to block with Maverick. We're going to block Mavrin Fane. Although they could Divine Verdict here, I guess, if they really want to. I don't think they do, though. Block. Yeah. So Mavrin Fane's gone. They found a Frillback. Well, Frillback's awkward. Well, let's pop Amulet. Get our island. Play the island. And we're going to play our Frenzied Raptor. And say go. Play their second planes. Luminous Bonds. Alright, Luminous Bonds is pretty decent here. Okay. So then you bash. Whoop. Didn't want to skip the turn. So we're at 9, and they have 7 power in play. So we have to... Well, I know what card's in their hand. We're going to Hostage Taker. We can Hostage Taker our Frenzied Raptor. That's actually hilarious. We will Hostage Taker the Vampire token. Remove it permanently from the game. And then say go. They're going to combat. Yeah, they have no choice but to do this. We will block the Frillback because we are behind the 8 ball here. Go to 7. They still have Shake the Foundations and Divine Verdict. Shake is pretty bad here because they have Merfolk Branchwalker. They find a Tyrant. Well, that's awkward. Tyrant is lethal. And we draw Unfriendly Fire. What does Unfriendly Fire do here? Unfriendly Fire kills the Branchwalker. I guess I can use Shake the Foundations here to exile whatever creatures we play because of Trapjaw Tyrant. Yeah, I think we just say go here. Thinking our opponent managed to have perfect mana here. Alright. Come on in, friend. Kill your 2/1. Take 5, go to 2. Diviner finds Sailback. Okay. They keep it on top. We draw a Mountain. So I think we're actually just dead here. The reason why is because they could end-step Shake the Foundations, kill our board, or deal 1 damage to Trapjaw Tyrant, steal whatever creature we play. And then that's game, I think. But I'm going to make our opponent have it. Recover Corsair. Play Corsair. They didn't have it. Well, they didn't do it then. They can do it now, though. Yep, there's Shake the Foundations. They did not misclick. And our opponent got there. Man. For a deck that was abysmally slow in game 1, they managed to win with 3 minutes on the clock. Alright, well that puts us to 2-2, and I'm pretty sure that leaves us dead to having even dreams of top 8. And it's about 1 p.m., and I'd like to go on with my day. So I'm actually going to go ahead and drop here. I mean, maybe I was trading too aggressively there at the early game, or maybe I should have kept a more aggressively tilted hand, knowing that they were going to be very aggressive. Oh well. Well, if you like what you see, you want to continue joining me on the quest to get better, you can follow me on Twitter at JWILEY129. That's JWiley129. Or you can find all our stuff here on the YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, share, favorite, and subscribe. Do all the things social to share this with your friends if you think this is useful or whatever. And we'll talk to you all next time.